Right now at 6, Joplin held a local council meeting to address community questions and concerns.
And we got a chilly start today, slightly warmer as we head into the afternoon. Details on that forecast to get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Kansas Department of Health and Environment heads to the city of Galena to help investigate the source of an unknown odor.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Tuesday, January the 14th, 2 full weeks into January, and it did not take long before everybody in this building checked out from listening to the stupid stuff I say. Because that's literally what happened 3 minutes ago. I'm making, my silly comments that sometimes are stupid, but that's okay. And I look around and it's just silence. I don't even know if these folks realize I was even on the air. I don't even know if I don't know if I'm on the air right now. I don't even know if I'm here right now. I'm invisible. I'm just kidding. We have a lot of fun here, but I am a little much sometimes for folks, and probably for some of you at home who are going, all right, that's enough, go away. So we're going to go away. We're going to move on to the forecast, because I know you want to know what to do for today. You're going to still want to dress a little warmly, because it's still going to be a bit on the chilly side. Quick look outside from downtown Joplin, our Cornell camera there. You can see we're looking okay. We've got mostly cloudy skies right now, and we're occasionally getting a southwest breeze gusting upwards of 20, which is making it feel a little colder from time to time. MoDOT camera 20th in range line in Joplin looking good as well. We'll head over to Kansas and the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th Avenue. Not nearly as much snow left out there as we had even yesterday, and there will be even less of it by the end of today. So by noon we have this boundary that right now is about right here, just on the northern fringes of our area. By noon it's along I-44 in the Kansas-Oklahoma border, and behind it are northerly winds. Now we'll bring in slightly cooler air, but nothing significant out there. But it'll also bring us partly to mostly cloudy skies. Now, it could also bring, and you're going to see the future tracks show it, some snow showers, maybe a flurry or two. Here's the deal. On the Skywatch Storm Tracker right now, there is snow showing up across the entire northern half of our area, but observation stations are reporting nothing. That's because it is too dry at the surface. It's just like we get this happening with rain. We'll have rain on the radar, but there's no rain reaching the surface because it's too dry. That's probably going to be the case with this snow, but a stray flurry or two possible. Nothing significant as we head into the afternoon. 36 in Joplin right now, 27 in Pittsburgh, a 9-degree difference there. And we've had an even bigger difference between Joplin and Miami. We got an 11-degree difference now, 25 in Miami, 36 in Joplin. And so we've got just a wide range of temperatures, even in short distances, into the 20s and 30s this morning. And when those winds pick up from time to time, it is knocking our wind chills down. Feels like 20, Greenfield, Monette, and Cassville, 21 in Stockton. So we've even had wind chills into the teens. So with that said, even though we are warmer this morning, some of those gusty southwest winds, make sure you're still getting bundled up. Partly cloudy, 30 when the kids get on the bus. By the time that bus brings them back home, partly to mostly cloudy, around 39, northeast winds 5 to 10, and our highs on their way to upper 30s and low 40s with those increasing clouds. Now overnight the clouds will actually decrease, which will allow us to get much colder tonight, and then even warmer air is on the way. We'll go over all those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Missouri welcomed its 58th governor yesterday. Governor-elect Mike Kehoe was sworn in on the steps of the state capitol in Jefferson City. Kehoe will replace outgoing Governor Mike Parson, who served as Missouri's governor from 2018 to 2025. In his inaugural address yesterday, Kehoe talked about his priorities of economic development, agriculture, education, and public safety.
Later today, as my first official act as day one as governor, I will take our first steps in securing safety for Missourians. But that's not all. In the coming weeks, months, and years, my administration will be relentless in our efforts to make Missouri a place where it's easier to be a cop than a criminal.
Governor Kehoe wasted no time in acting on what he's calling the Safer Missouri Initiative. Following the ceremony, the governor signed 6 executive orders specifically aimed at crime and immigration. These orders include Executive Orders 2502, a regional anti-crime effort that emphasizes cross-jurisdiction collaboration to pursue and apprehend dangerous fugitives. Executive Order 2504 establishes designation with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, to allow state and local law enforcement to assist in enforcing immigration laws. For a complete list of all of yesterday's executive orders and to view Governor Kehoe's inauguration in its entirety, just head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Last night, Joplin city officials welcomed residents to a community council meeting at the Joplin History and Mineral Museum. This gathering provides a fantastic opportunity for community members to voice their concerns directly to city council members without the hassle of making an official appointment. City Councilman Doug Lawson says some concerns surrounding Joplin's homeless issues were raised, but he also believes the city is making significant strides in addressing these challenges.
One of the good things about Joplin is we take good care of our homeless people. One of the bad things about Joplin is we take good care of our homeless people. In other words, it's a good place to come if you're having those difficulties. But we have people in Joplin that are available, willing, eager to help people get off the streets, become self-sufficient.
Joplin city government has two more gatherings. The next one is Monday, April 15th at the Joplin Athletic Complex, and another on Monday, July 14th at Cunningham Park. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment is working with the city of Galena to figure out what's that smell. According to the mayor, officials are meeting with KDHE on Friday. They're not sure yet what the investigation will look like. This all comes after numerous resident complaints about a sulfur smell, particularly in the area north of 4th Street. The mayor told KOAM's Melissa Alexis yesterday afternoon that the smell could potentially be related to the landfill, although no one is certain yet. Previously, KDHE said the smell wasn't likely coming from it.
I don't know if it's a lack of adequate cover, which again they're doing, there's no violation there, so everything is being done right, but if there's still some stench that could come up from there.
About 2 weeks ago, KDHE came to Galena and conducted a study which confirmed there are no violations relating to the landfill. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes coming up on the KOAM Morning News. JP Morgan Chase shut down comments on an internal webpage post announcing its new return to office policy. Plus, worsening wind conditions threaten the fight against multiple wildfires in Southern California. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Tuesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Fairland, Oklahoma. Topping Nation Watch this morning. The U.S. economy ended 2024 with unemployment falling to pre-pandemic norms. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the nation's jobless rate was 4.1%. Now, that was helped by the 256,000 positions added in December. The BLS says roughly 2.2 million jobs were gained in all of 2024, which is similar to the yearly totals from 2017 through 2019. Analysts say the sturdy labor market helped boost consumer spending, which also benefited the overall economy. The largest bank in America, JP Morgan Chase, has shut down comments on internal website post announcing its new return to office policy. That's according to the Wall Street Journal and Barron's. The company reportedly received dozens of angry comments from employees about the change. The bank announced Friday it would require all employees to work in the office full-time beginning in March with limited exceptions. The change mostly impacts back office workers who had been allowed to work remotely twice a week. About 60% of the company's workforce was already required to be in the office 5 days a week. The bank has not commented on the reports of shutting down comments. Inadequate sanitation at a Virginia food plant was largely to blame for last year's multi-state listeria outbreak, according to a report from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The tainted food, including liverwurst and other deli meats, was made at a Boar's Head facility in Jarratt. Boar's Head started recalling products linked to listeria concerns in July 2024 and closed the plant a few months later. The USDA previously announced insects, mildew, and mold were found at the facility. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 10 people died from eating the tainted food and dozens of others in 19 states got sick. Officials say it's likely more people got sick from the food, but the illnesses weren't reported. Well, new brush fires have flared up in Southern California as strong wind gusts return to the region. A red flag warning is in effect until tomorrow evening. At least 24 people have been confirmed dead or are unaccounted for since the fires began a week ago. Charlie DeMar has the latest from Los Angeles.
Worsening wind conditions through tomorrow now threaten the fight against multiple Southern California fires as new blazes erupt like this one in Ventura County.
We urge the public to stay diligent, to stay ready, as the danger has absolutely not passed.
On the ground, firefighters have been working grueling 24-hour shifts to contain the inferno.
It can be challenging at times. You don't sleep pretty much the whole 24 hours. A lot of our guys won't get too much rest because you are kind of amped up still.
As high winds at times hamper the attack from the sky.
This is the most dangerous flying that we do.
Wyoming Air National Guard Lieutenant Laura Jeffrey, a combat navigator, is one of many who came for a different kind of fight.
We're leaving our families, we're leaving behind everything to come out and do the humanitarian effort for this.
Thousands of homes and businesses have been destroyed by these fires over the past few days, with the search now underway for the missing and for answers. These are just a few of those who've died in the fires. The family of 86-year-old Miva Friedley is holding out hope she'll be found alive after the Eaton fire burned her home to the ground.
You're seeing a lot of ash, a lot of smoke, a lot of stuff, but no person.
Meanwhile, multiple residents have filed lawsuits against a local utility company as investigators work to determine if it played a role in the Eaton fire. Officials are also trying to determine if embers from this 8-acre blaze on New Year's Eve may have reignited, sparking the massive Palisades fire in its wake. Charlie DeMar, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yesterday, President Joe Biden said he believes it will take tens of billions of dollars to rebuild Los Angeles and those areas affected by the fires during a briefing at the White House. The president is calling on Congress to pass more funding. Mr. Biden and his team also warned against the spread of misinformation over the handling of the fire response. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, I wanted to show you the Skywatch Storm Tracker real quick. This is what we're talking about, where it is showing some snow out there. Not much, but it's showing snow. But again, observation stations at ground level aren't reporting any of this snow actually reaching the ground. So we could see a couple of flurries this afternoon, but I think overall most of this is going to be gone before it reaches the ground. We'll have another look at your forecast, talk about some warmer weather on the way, and then when it gets cold again here in just a few more minutes.
Cherished family photos lost forever. That's what a family in Oklahoma thought when a tornado tore through a storage unit at a relative's home in Norman in 2023. Now fast forward to just days ago when a woman bought a camera at a thrift store. She noticed an old SD card in the camera. Now it turns out that card contained those priceless images. Kylie Thomas spoke with a woman who was determined to get the photos back to their rightful owner.
I was actually looking for a gift for my best friend because she wants one of those little small digital cameras. And so the one that I brought it home and I noticed that there was an SD card in it. And so whenever I put the SD card in, I noticed there was a ton of just really great family photos. And I thought, you know, if it were me, I would want to have them.
More than 300 lost family photos. The pictures dated back to 2011, from family reunions to backyard barbecues. Courtney Taylor knew she had to find the family, so she went online. And within hours, the internet found them.
When I received them in my messenger, I couldn't believe it. To see them, it broke my heart and made me happy at the same time.
Amber White says the camera that stored those precious family photos was in her aunt's storage unit when it was hit by the Norman tornado in 2023. Irreplaceable family memories were gone in a flash.
That camera had pictures on it that we thought that we'd never see again.
But on Sunday, the family from McLeod was given a gift, memories they thought were lost forever.
There was a picture of me and my mother that passed in 2018 that I've never seen before that was on that camera roll. And a person that would do that is just, it blows my mind. Because a lot of people would just throw in the trash.
I'm actually an intern at the Grady County Historical Society Museum here in Chickasha, and I'm going to school too for museum studies. And a lot of that has a lot to do with like photo preservation and like archiving photos and things. And so photos have just always been very important to me, and preserving someone's history and family history.
Courtney said she knew that returning those photos would mean something special to the family. Now let's head over to Chris with a look at the forecast.
We're looking pretty good so far. Got mostly cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies as well. We're going to be a little warmer today. We've got a full look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, coming up on 6:23 now on this Tuesday morning. We're going to start with the future track. We do have a boundary. It's going to be pushing through, and it's going to bring us northerly winds and some slightly cooler temperatures. Not a major impact on our daytime temperatures, but it will make us pretty cold tonight. A mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. And yes, the future track is showing some snow, but it's similar to what we're seeing on the Skywatch Storm Tracker now. None of it's actually reaching the ground. It's just too dry at the surface, and I think it's going to be the case as we head through the afternoon and evening. But a couple of flurries may make their way down here where you'll see them, but it's not expected to be anything significant by any means. But again, it will be cold tonight, dropping back into the teens, upper teens and low 20s out there. Throughout our Wednesday, we're going to be again partly cloudy for most of the day. Clouds will gradually decrease as we head later into the afternoon out there. And temperatures, again, not too bad. More upper 30s and low 40s out there, similar to what we're going to see today. And then as we head into our Thursday, we're starting the day. Most of us should be in the low 30s. And then as we head into the afternoon, take a look by noon Thursday, already into the 40s. Some of us, like Bartlesville, getting close to 50. And we continue into Thursday evening. Now Bartlesville even at 51. The rest of us not that bad. And it'll be even warmer is the expectation on Friday. And then it's going to get very cold again. 36 in Joplin right now. 26 is what it feels like. West-southwest wind at 16. And we're looking at about partly cloudy skies out there. Around the region, here's that boundary. It's now starting to sink into the northern part of our viewing area here. So the winds are still, for most of us, out of the south and west. We still have those wide temperature variances as well. 12-degree difference between Miami and Joplin at 24 and 36. So we're into the 20s and 30s. And as those winds pick up occasionally, it has been dropping those wind chills. Feels like 18 Stockton and Greenfield, 19 in Grove, 20 in Miami. So it's just been a mix as these winds have picked up and died down and picked up, messing with those wind chills out there. 30 by 8 o'clock, partly cloudy skies around the upper 30s by 11 o'clock this morning. Into the afternoon again, upper 30s and low 40s for those highs. Northeast breeze 5 to 10 and partly to mostly cloudy skies. And again this evening, the clouds will actually thin out. We'll go mostly clear overnight, which will also help us get colder. So drop into the upper teens, low 20s. As I mentioned, we'll be upper 30s, low 40s tomorrow, pushing close to 50 for Thursday, pushing close to 60 for Friday, and then roughly 40-degree drop in temperatures down into the teens from Friday's high to Friday's low. Our precipitation chances this weekend are still not fantastic. They're not zero, but they're not that great. But what has been very consistent, rather, has been the Arctic air, and that's definitely set to make its way in this weekend, dropping us well below normal. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Lise now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, children with obesity face a greater risk of dying following a cancer diagnosis. A study by the American Cancer Society looked at children diagnosed with cancer and found those with obesity had a 3% lower chance of survival over 5 years. They also face a 16% higher risk of their illness relapsing. And smokers have a better chance of quitting if they use both medication and counseling. A study by the University of Texas found the approach, called integrated care, outperformed other methods of quitting smoking with 30% of participants still avoiding smoking after 6 months. 85% of all lung cancer cases are caused by tobacco. Researchers want to make it easier for you to tell which food at the grocery store is processed. Now, a team at Mass General Brigham has created a database that gives foods a score of how processed they are. It's called a Grocery DB and is available online. Ultra-processed foods contain additives, preservatives, and high sugar, salt, and fat, which can lead to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, local users weigh in on the looming potential ban of TikTok.
And we've got a chilly start to the day. We'll have a mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies and a little bit warmer this afternoon. We'll take a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, bird watchers flock to southwest Missouri to check out the bald eagles.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Tuesday, January the 14th. We are 2 weeks into the new year, and here we are. Hopefully it slows down. We talked about that earlier. It does seem like it's going by a little quickly. I'm sure it'll slow down eventually, and it has been a very cold start to 2025.
Oh, it's been freezing.
I do not like it at all. It's one thing, for winter to be in the 20s and 30s, okay, but when it drops down to like the single digits or below zero,
brutal.
that's not cool, man. That ain't cool at all. Unfortunately, it is going to get pretty darn cold again, but we will have a little bit of a warm up between here and there, just enough to put our systems into shock and make many of us probably ill by next Monday. Because it's going to be a pretty big temperature swing. Let's talk about today, though. You got to get to school, got to get to work, and we are looking at partly cloudy skies. And how do we know this? Well, we have cameras, and we also have observation stations out there that are showing us these partly cloudy skies. See? That's downtown Joplin, our camera on the Cornell complex. A little harder to see, but I assure you there's a few clouds out there this morning. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, again, looking pretty good. Still have some snow left, but I think in the next couple of days, what's out there is going to be gone. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. Also looking pretty good this morning as well. Future track. So right now we have this boundary, and it's just now getting into our northern counties, so almost right along the Highway 54 corridor. Eventually, it's going to sink a little further south. Behind it, we'll have northeast winds. Ahead of it, we have southwest winds, and in between, we've got temperatures. They're going to drop a little, but not significantly. Now, the future track is also going to show that stuff. That's some light snow. We've got light snow on the Skywatch Storm Tracker right now. None of it's reaching the ground. I think that's what we're looking at this afternoon. Future track is showing we'll have the potential, but it's going to be so dry at the surface. At most, you might see a flurry or two right along Kansas-Oklahoma border and along I-44 corridor. But again, nothing major expected out there whatsoever. 36 in Joplin and 28 in Pittsburgh. We've got big temperature differences over small distances in some cases. Like Miami to Joplin's been one of the biggest ones. 24 in Miami, 36 in Joplin. Temperatures are into the 20s and 30s. And then we've got those southwest winds occasionally gusting out there, which does bring our wind chills down. Feels like 18 Stockton and Greenfield. The rest of us still kind of feeling like the 20s. We've got 19 in Anderson is what it feels like. And it's been back and forth because the winds have been occasionally gusting. So kids get on the bus, definitely want to bundle up. We're warmer temperature-wise than where we were this time yesterday, but with those gusty winds does make it feel a little colder. Around 30 when the bus picks them up, and around 39 when that bus brings them home, and by then those winds out of the northeast 5 to 10. Again, mix of partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs today, upper 30s, low 40s. Skies will clear overnight tonight, which will allow us to get pretty darn cold this evening. Then we're going to get pretty warm before it gets really cold again. Details on all that in the full forecast. That's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, some drivers in Joplin will need to take a detour in the coming days. Starting today, St. Louis Avenue will be closed from 8th Street to Campbell Parkway. It will be a full closure at the railroad crossing to replace the box culvert and stormwater infrastructure. People living in that area will still have access to their homes, but through traffic will need to follow the detour route. Winter just got a little bit warmer for some area kids. Yesterday, Children's Haven of Southwest Missouri presented 120 brand new coats to children in need. The event was made possible due to a partnership with Frank Fletcher Subaru of Joplin and Operation Warmth.
It's amazing that we can all get together and kind of form this relationship where we're able to help out, especially with children. You know, they're not able to help ourselves like adults are.
Children's Haven has served families in Southwest Missouri since 2003, providing more than 50,000 nights of safe, nurturing care to more than 8,000 children. Bald eagles are making their way to Missouri, according to the Department of Conservation. The Show Me State has become one of their favorite places to nest thanks to its vast rivers, lakes, and wetlands that provide a steady source of food. In fact, more than 2,000 bald eagles are reported in Missouri this winter season.
1963, just around 400 known nesting pairs. This is one of the most amazing conservation comeback stories in the United States, possibly in the world. Today, there are over 70,000 known nesting pairs in the United States.
Sklicki says it's illegal to tamper with a bald eagle's nest. It may be time's up for a favorite video platform here in the United States. The future of TikTok may only be less than a week away, but some users here in the 4 states have expressed their feelings when it comes to potentially giving up the social media app. One Pittsburgh user says the potential ban will not just hurt her social connections, but her business as well.
I just moved back from Costa Rica, and so it was a really great way for me to actually see what was going on here while I was abroad. So that was really nice to feel like I was connected to everyone in the States while not being in the States. So I use it a lot. I promote my business on there. I connect with other business owners. It's great, and it's part of my marketing strategy.
Many TikTok users have begun the migration to another Chinese-owned platform, RedNote, which has become the most downloaded free app on the Apple App Store as of today. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Well, Starbucks reverses its policy of allowing anyone into its cafes or to use the bathroom. And we have a cold and mostly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Fairland, Oklahoma. And Consumer Watch this morning. We'll travel around the world shattered records in 2024 and overall prices keep rising. Now, both trends are projected to continue this year. Wendy Gillette reports on the 2025 forecast from Los Cabos, Mexico.
Hugs with established connections and endless networking to make new ones brought together the biggest names and brands for the international luxury travel market at Cannes last month. The trade show marked the largest gathering in the organization's history.
2024 was a phenomenal year in travel. We hear it from travel agents, we hear it from suppliers, we hear it from resorts, we hear it from city hotels.
Hot destinations this year include Japan, where round-trip airfares will drop close to $1,000, down 12% from last year. Travelers are also headed off the beaten path in Europe to Verona, Italy, and Milos, Greece, and booking adventure trips to Norway and Finland, according to Hopper. More predictions for 2025 come from travel advisors and hotel leaders attending the annual Embark Immersion Conference held late last year in Los Cabos, Mexico. The event generated $10 million in sales, looking ahead to 2025. Embark CEO Jack Ezon says warming temperatures around the world are changing travel patterns, including visits to Europe.
Many people, instead of going in the core July and August, are now choosing to go in September, October, or May or June.
Traveling to shop is becoming more popular.
I'm seeing lots of folks going places specifically to buy that bag, get that item they've always wanted.
There's also an increased focus on personalized travel.
Personalization today is really a basic. So people want to be recognized, people want to get to know our colleagues, people want to know that they're being taken care of.
The luxury travel network Virtuoso sees the growth of solo cruising. And the Points Guy predicts authentic experiences and trips planned around attending events like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour last year will keep travel flying high in 2025. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Nearly 6,800 people who bought fake N95 face masks during the COVID-19 pandemic are getting a refund. The Federal Trade Commission took action against Razor and its affiliates, accusing the company of falsely advertising its Zephyr respirator as an N95 or equivalent to it without certification. The FTC is sending out more than $1 million, around $150 per person, in checks or PayPal payments in the coming days. Now, a reversal Starbucks is now requiring people to make a purchase in order to hang out in its stores or use the restroom. The company has put into place an open door policy 7 years ago after 2 Black men were arrested at a Philadelphia location while there for a business meeting. Now, that incident resulted in national embarrassment for the company, but since then, the company says staff have struggled with unruly and dangerous behavior in stores. And with a month until Valentine's Day, Rox wants to help candy lovers go global. The company is adding sentimental phrases in multiple language on its familiar candy hearts. It's also adding 4 new flavors: mango, passion fruit, peach, and pina colada. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
We've got a few clouds out there this morning. We'll have a few more as we head through the afternoon. In fact, for our camera downtown Joplin, now we're getting a little daylight. You can see we got those partly to mostly cloudy skies across the region. MoDOT camera 20th and range line looking good. You can see the sunrise, and off to this side, some of those clouds are what we otherwise would call partly cloudy. And the KDOT camera at 69 East 520th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh, looks great as well this morning. On to the future track. We have a boundary right now. It's almost right along the Highway 54 corridor by noon. It's I-44 back into the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. Behind it, northeast winds. Ahead of it, southwest winds and slightly cooler temperatures. Not a big drop, but still a little cooler out there as we head into the afternoon, at least for a little while. And yes, the future track this afternoon showing the possibility of some light snow or a flurry or two. We're actually seeing light snow on the Skywatch Storm Tracker now, but it's too dry at the surface for any of it to reach the ground, and so that's what the expectation is. Later you might see a flurry or two, but it's not going to add up to much of anything. It is a bit cold out there. 36 in Joplin right now, 28 in Pittsburgh. And around the region, we've got 20s, we got 30s, but we have big gaps, an 11-degree difference just from Miami to Joplin along I-44. And, of course, with that southwest wind occasionally picking up, we got some wind chills back into the teens and low 20s out there. Kids getting on the bus, again, partly cloudy skies. They want to bundle up. 30 southwest winds occasionally gusting to 20, and then partly to mostly cloudy when the bus brings them home. 39 northeast winds at about 5 to 10. We do have warmer weather on the way, then we have much colder weather on the way as well. Details on that in just a moment, as well as birthdays and anniversaries. But first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, our 3 Meals series is back. Vlad visits President Biden's home state of Delaware. He ate and spoke to people about the president's 50 years in office and now his legacy as we enter the final week of his presidency. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Tuesday birthdays, and we're starting with Isla Cares, celebrating birthday number 1. Says we love you so much. Happy first birthday from all of your family.
And in Chanute, a happy 10th birthday to Bentley Bauer.
And in Edna, Gracie Transu, celebrating birthday number 13, says love you, Mom and Dad.
And in Girard, a happy 15th birthday to Kylie Hollisey.
And in Jasper, 15th birthday for Molly Garwood. Says here, love Grandpa and Grandma. Happy birthday.
And another 15th birthday in Seneca. Happy birthday to Maddie Miller. It says here, happy birthday from Dad, Chief, Emma, Nanny, and all your family.
And we have Emmeline Caraway celebrating birthday number 16 in Joplin. Happy birthday.
And in Jasper, a happy 17th birthday to Chloe Storm.
And also in Jasper, Brooke Rush celebrating birthday number 19. Happy birthday.
And a happy 28th birthday to Aspen Elbert in Seneca. Says happy birthday from all of your family.
All right. I'm not sure what was happening all these years ago, but that is 10 in a row of all girl birthdays. The first 10 birthdays, all girls. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. Not that many in a row. We finally get now to Daniel Kreitz celebrating birthday number 37 in Pittsburgh. It says, happy birthday from all of your family.
And another one for the girls. Happy birthday to Deb Jones, turning 71 in Chanute.
Well, you know, it just dawned on me too. All the girls, the birthdays, the years, they're pretty close in age.
Yeah.
Like there's a small gap where I don't know what was in the water about 20 years ago or so, but interesting. It's just interesting. I've not seen it like that before. I've never, yeah, anyway, look, I'm one of those guys. I notice odd trends. That's just interesting. Well, we also have Paul Hutsey celebrating birthday number 97 in Pittsburgh. Says, happy birthday, Paul. The best is yet to come with love from all of your family. Very happy birthday to you, Paul.
And happy birthday to Ashley Stagner. It says, happy birthday with love, Frank and Judy.
Actually went to school with her many years ago. Many years ago. We're not that old, but it's still been a while. We also have Dennis Blinko celebrating another year wiser in Liberal.
And in Webb City, a happy birthday to Heather Shaw.
And in Columbus, Natalie Nelson celebrating another year wiser as well. Happy birthday, Natalie.
And in Pittsburgh, happy birthday to Nancy Jensen, who is pictured in the black jacket there. It says, happy birthday, love, Judy and Frank.
And our list continues. That's a big moose, by the way. Our list continues with Ashley Huddleston in Anderson celebrating birthday number 37. Happy birthday.
And happy birthday to Julie O'Hara in St. Paul.
And Jessica Forrester celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday.
And a happy birthday to Tanya Daniels.
And we've got Travis McBride rounding out this list. A very happy birthday to you, Travis. All right, that's a fantastic list of birthdays and anniversaries. A very interesting list. Like, just very interesting. And we want all of our lists to be cool and awesome and full of celebrations. Elise, what should they do if they want to celebrate with us?
Yes, go ahead and submit those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnews.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen, and to also include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
It's, of course, very important to meet those deadlines and include that date, because if you submit a birthday today, if you don't tell us that it's maybe for Friday, then we're going to believe that it must be for tomorrow, and therefore it will end up airing at the wrong time, and we certainly don't want to have your celebration airing on the wrong date. All right, let's take a look outside. Our camera downtown Joplin. Look at this sunrise. Looks beautiful this morning. Just a few clouds out there, at least from this perspective. It is a bit on the cold side again. Our camera at 7th and Rangeline. I can see the moon hiding out back there behind the clouds. We've got some partly cloudy skies for the time being. Again, MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Another great view of that sunrise as well. On to the future track. We've got this boundary. It's right now about 54 corridor. By noon, it's right along I-44 Kansas-Oklahoma border. Northeast winds behind it. Southwest winds ahead of it. Partly to mostly cloudy skies out there. Future track is picking up on snow, but we're actually seeing snow on the Skywatch Storm Tracker right now. None of it's reaching the ground. And that's kind of the expectation. You might see a stray flurry or two, but otherwise nothing major out of this. Now it's going to clear out a bit tonight, which will allow us to be much colder tonight, back into the teens again. We'll have partly cloudy skies on Wednesday and start eventually clearing out by the afternoon, which will allow us to be a little warmer as well. In fact, we'll continue to warm as we head through the next few days. Another check of those temperatures, 36 in Joplin, feels like 26. West-southwest winds at 16. Around the region, temperatures have been hanging out in the 20s and 30s. And then we've also got that southwest breeze. There's that boundary I was talking about. And on occasion, as it gusts, it's making those wind chills fall back into the teens and low 20s in some locations out there this morning. As we get our morning underway, again, partly cloudy skies, bit chilly, 30 to start, upper 30s by 11 a.m. We're having another look at your forecast and the news you need to know in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., new research suggests that video games could be bringing people together.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Missouri welcomes its 58th governor. Governor-elect Mike Kehoe was sworn in on the steps of the state capitol in Jefferson City. Kehoe will replace outgoing Governor Mike Parson, who served as Missouri's governor from 2018 to 2025. To see the inauguration, just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com or use the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Well, Joplin drivers will need to take a detour in the coming days. Starting today, St. Louis Avenue will be closed from 8th Street to Campbell Parkway. People living in that area will still have access to their homes, but through traffic will need to follow the detour route. And winter just got a little bit warmer for some area kids. Children's Haven of Southwest Missouri was presented with 120 brand new coats to children in need. The event was made possible due to a partnership with Frank Fletcher Subaru of Joplin and Operation Warmth. Children's Haven has provided more than 50,000 nights of safe, nurturing care to more than 8,000 children. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
As you head out the door, it's a bit chilly this morning. It's going to be slightly warmer today, partly to mostly cloudy skies, highs upper 30s, low 40s, northeast winds around 5 to 10. Into the evening we go. Skies will actually clear out a bit, mostly clear overnight, colder tonight, back into the upper teens and low 20s. And then over the next few days, a little more warming, more upper 30s and low 40s tomorrow, near 50 Thursday, pushing near 60 Friday afternoon, and then down into the teens Friday night. A slight chance of some wintry weather into the weekend, and then that Arctic air mass, though, brings our temperatures well below normal heading into the weekend and the start of next week.
And coming up today at noon, we're making crowd-pleasing brisket in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. A SpaceX rocket is scheduled to lift off after midnight tonight. Coming up on CBS Mornings, how a small Texas company hopes to make history on the moon with something the U.S. has not done in more than 50 years.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Jasmine Kyle from the SEK Humane Society joins us in the studio to talk about how you can help support the Humane Society.
Plus, Charlene Patton in the studio with another healthy recipe for us. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.